All right, so Reasonable Vegan recently came out with a response to a question that I proposed to him, and he came out with a giant L. Huge fat L, dude. Check this out.
All right, got a question here from Jerem. Says, would you sacrifice yourself? Sorry, starting over. Would you sacrifice your health if it meant that everyone in the world for eternity went vegan? And there's two.
I want to emphasize eternity. Um, a, a trillion is a huge number. It's hard to even conceptualize a trillion. It's so big. Take eternity, and a trillion is minute. It's this on the scale of a trillion. So just keep that in perspective.
Two questions in here actually. So Laszlo responded to that
Or
saying
on the scale of eternity.
would or should. So and I'm going to answer both. So would I sacrifice my health if everybody in eternity forever went vegan, and should I? The reason this question's asked is because I believe both of these people have seen me talk about how I wouldn't sacrifice my life for like billions of people or animals. And I've also discussed the importance of health. And so I've talked about how even though I'm vegan now, in a hypothetical world where humans were carnivores, would I eat meat or just sacrifice my life? And I wouldn't. I would eat meat to get close to like optimal health.
Tons of giant L's right there. So number one, he wouldn't sacrifice himself to save a billion people. He wouldn't even sacrifice his health uh, to save a billion people. This is absolutely bonkers, dude.
Okay, so would I sacrifice health if everybody went vegan for eternity? So some health for sure. So I am, however healthy I am right now. So I could probably be a good bit healthier if I was, if I exercised more and ate better and whatnot. I don't think I'm doing too bad, but I could be doing probably a good bit better. Now, if I just like for the rest of my life had 1% less energy, I would probably do that. I could sacrifice that to make everyone go vegan for eternity. I wouldn't sacrifice like a leg though. So when this says health,
Well, why not? Like, where's the threshold? It's like 1%. Yeah, obviously, sacrificing 1% energy to have everyone go vegan, or to save billions of people seems pretty obvious, right? Um, but in the same sort of context, right? If we're just kind of sort of weighing uh, the percentages, theoretically, uh, losing your leg could mean 1% health, right? Compared to if you're saving trillions of people, uh, or if you're improving the lives of trillions of people for eternity, and all it takes is to lose your leg, I don't see how that wouldn't be, something in the realm of 1% or even less than 1%. So I'm not sure what that means.
I don't know to what degree. So like I wouldn't sacrifice a leg, even if it meant every human for all of eternity would go vegan. I wouldn't sacrifice an arm. I don't even know if I'd sacrifice a finger, maybe a finger. I don't know. But yeah, so I would sacrifice some health. I wouldn't sacrifice like half of my strength. I would sacrifice some of my strength. If me at optimal health, let's just say I could had the strength to bench press. Let's just say X. Like it doesn't really matter. We'll just say X amount. Let's just put it into scale. So let's just say it's like 10 units of weight. If that would be what I would be at my maximum health for my age and all that kind of stuff, if it's like 10 units, I wouldn't sacrifice it down to like 5. But would I sacrifice like zero point 0.5 of a unit or 1 unit of strength? Maybe something like that. I could imagine sacrificing something. But no, for the most part, I mean, just in all honesty, I think a lot of people would just jump to answer a thing because why not? You know, you could just say, oh, of course, I'd sacrifice my life or my health or whatever. But when it actually came down to it, I think it's important to recognize what we would do and how we're designed. Animals are designed to want to live. We are animals. The reason that our species exists is because, for the most part, all species of all animals want to continue. They want to procreate. They want to each individually last. So aside from wild cases of sacrificing oneself for one's loved ones, or in cases of people, their mental faculties being off to the level where they end their own lives. Like aside from those things, people do everything they can to survive and live.
I actually disagree. I think we do everything we can to receive pleasure. It often looks like survival because pleasure requires survival, oftentimes, which is why, but not all the time, which is why we see things like suicide and things. But I disagree that survival is the thing that we value. Yeah.
Live. And so I want to live. I want to live as long as possible. I want to be as healthy as possible. So for the most part, I would not sacrifice myself for most humans, and probably for any animals. So yeah.
Huge L, dude. Huge L. And I would really like to reiterate how long eternity is. So it's like, okay, so put this into perspective, right? Again, going back to this whole, a trillion is a huge number. Eternity makes a trillion look like this. Okay? So essentially, imagine a world where you could have a galactic amount of people experiencing eternal pleasure to the highest degree, but one person has to experience a paper cut. It's like, would we take this world? And it's like, yes. It's like, obviously, yes. Putting into the perspective of eternity, someone could literally chop my legs off, choke me, like torture me for 1 billion years, and compare that to eternity. It's in the same realm as a paper cut. It's in the same realm. So it's like, would you, again, would you push a button that says a person receives a paper cut, but then everybody, trillions of people, a galactic amount of people, experience extreme pleasure for eternity, forever and ever, infinity? It seems pretty obvious. And Carson's conclusion is that he would not push that button, which is absurd. It's crazy. Yeah, giant L for Carson. We love you, buddy, but giant L for reasonable vegan here.